Hello guys, future Jada. I just wanted to pop in before this video starts to tell you guys that this video is monetized because all of the proceeds from this video will be going to a fundraiser of some sort that deals with this cause. I did mention that later in the video, but I did want to clarify it before we got any further in, before anyone tries to clock me. Second of all, I want this to be a healthy discussion. If you guys have any things that you guys want to talk about, continue that in the comment section. I want this to be healthy. Please come to this from a very open mind and just go ahead and start a conversation. If you're confused, if you want to be educated, start a conversation. I'd rather start a conversation than for you to just keep criticizing and pointing out things. Let's actually just start conversation and let's go from there. Lastly, yes, my words are all over the place. We will get pretty interesting. I wanted to keep this as unedited as I possibly could, but I did mess up a lot. I did just was jumbled all over the place. Very real. It's a very raw video, so I'm going to try and keep as much of the contents in as possible. Nothing else needs to be said. Grab a snack. Literally just grab a snack. I have been sitting at this camera way too long just trying to figure out the lighting, figure out how I just want this to be set up, because I think I'm just so overwhelmed with everything that I want to say right now that it's not even like I can't focus on talking about this video. Like, all I want to do right now, I don't even want to speak about it because I'm just sick and tired of having to speak about this. This happens every single year. This happens every single day. First of all, every single day. Even if things don't get documented on the news, even if things aren't spoken about, I mean, that's like 99% of the things anyway. I don't even know where I really want to start with this video. I'm actually at a loss for words because let's just go back, I guess. Let's just start about being a black woman. Let's just start about that. Me, Jada Jones. Hi, if you guys have never met me before, I'm 18 years old. I am of mixed race. I am black and Asian. But just because I'm mixed also doesn't mean that I'm not black. This affects me just as much as any black person because I am black. This affects all of my black friends, all of my black sisters and brothers that I'm glad to call family, that I am glad to call a part of me. Being black is a part of me, even though for many years I've tried to suppress my blackness. Okay, this is gonna actually be more emotional than I thought, but alright. So growing up as a kid, I was very insecure, not because I actually didn't even know what it was about, honestly. I didn't know where it came from. I didn't know, I didn't even grow up looking at skin color thinking about it, but I think as soon as I hit 5th grade, 6th grade, when I started watching film and TV, when I started watching just all the TV shows and noticing that people don't look like me, that people aren't me, I don't see myself in them, I wanted to be that so bad. I wanted to be it so bad, and I've never said that on the internet before just because I never thought that I would have to say it. But I remember even my mom, one day she was checking my history on my Nexus tablet, whatever the hell tablet thing that I got. I remember Googling how to be a white girl. I remember Googling how to be white. As a child, guys, as an elementary school student who should be loving herself, first of all, not even thinking about all that stuff. I remember looking that up and feeling so I had a goal to achieve. I needed to definitely be this white girl. I needed to be white because everyone that I saw in the media and on the news and everything that I looked up to was white. Even in 2012, which was not that long ago, it was 8 years ago, that is when I would praise being white because that's all that I thought, that's all that I saw. I saw that people were getting opportunities that way. I literally don't even know where to start. I have 10,000 things in my brain, so many things that I want to read off my phone. Just educating, first of all, especially because I grew up around so many white people. I felt almost not embarrassed. I felt nervous to speak out about this because I feel like people would call me out about being too white or for not, I feel like I would get called out on both sides. For people saying that I wasn't, I feel like I was going to get called out because people would see why is she speaking out about this, and those are obviously internal battles that I was dealing with. Definitely I literally do not think anyone would say that about me, that I care about, that I personally care about, which is the only people that you should value their opinions from. I know no one would say that about me, but it worries me because that's all I've grown up thinking. Guys, I grew up doing ballet at a very known ballet school here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I remember growing up being one of the only people of color. I'm gonna say people of color because I don't even have to say black. There wasn't that many people of color anyway. I remember one of the teachers pulling us to the side one day, and this is during the time when Misty Copeland was really like shooting up. Like, it was super like, yes, like women of color doing ballet, whatever. I remember her having to like pull us to the side and talk to us about getting colored tights for ourselves to make us feel more inclusive. Like, this shouldn't have had to happen like only then. That should have happened a long time ago. We even had a class from a Caucasian teacher like telling us how to spray paint our point shoes to fit a certain color, to fit our skin tone. I need to read a quote because I literally cannot get my words together, so let me get my words. The first thing I'm gonna quote is Malcolm X. This is a quote that he said during one of his speeches. I will read it. "The most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman." I think as black women, we are encouraged to feel really shitty about ourselves. We are surrounded by beauty companies that don't make shades that are available for everybody. We are given backhanded compliments. I'm speaking this for a lot of black women that I know of way darker skin tone than me, receiving backhanded compliments and saying like, "Oh, you're so pretty for like a black girl." No, there's no way. Like, you have to be mixed with something. Why can't a black girl just be a black girl? But this is what it's like being a person of color trying to even enter a white dominated field, a white dominated society, a white dominated system. This whole system was not built for us. Not built for people of color and not built for black people, very specifically. And guys, black people and people of color are two separate things. People of color are people of color. That's anyone who is not white. Anyone who has a little bit of oomph in them. That's what people of color is. Black people are an extension of people of color. We are different. That's different. People of color. There's black people. There's Indian people. There's Hispanic people. There's Asians of all sorts. I'm a bit of that. So with that being said, I think we also need to really specify what we're talking about when we say black and people of color, because I don't think people are understanding what's going on. And yes, I feel like I've done this freaking All Lives Matter rant every single other video that I've done about protesting or whatever. I'm tired of having to say this on the internet, on posting, on the stories, on Instagram, whatever. I'm tired of having to say all lives do not matter until black lives matter. If you say that all lives matter right now, that means you're discrediting the entire fact that like we're trying to push this movement further and that we are actually trying to move forward with something that's very prevalent and that's honestly very obvious. Like, you see it everywhere. It's very obvious the kind of privilege that can trample over us. If you guys want a little history tutorial, I don't know if y'all know, but like slavery, that was a thing. We had people from Europe bring us on boats here as slaves, and even when slavery was over, guys, yes, slaves were freed, but they weren't freed into a free world, into a free society. They were freed into a larger jail that then consisted of segregation. We weren't allowed to go to the same schools as white counterparts. We weren't allowed to go to the same bathroom, let alone the same water fountain. Literally a basic necessity. We weren't allowed to go and have the same water fountain because it had to be less than. Have you watched Hidden Figures? I don't know. That's like the best example that I can give to someone who's just like not educated about this. With that being said, our system is built in a really fucked up way. This is a quote that I saw underneath a video that I was watching the other day. It is about the systems that has set up America. This was worded in the best way possible, and my brain is honestly just so jumbled that I can't physically or mentally or emotionally find the words, so this is it. This is from the YouTube account called The Blunt Truth. He commented this comment under Infinite Waters' video. He said, "When you build a society on genocide and slave labor, then reluctantly set those slaves free into a bigger prison, lynch them en masse, pass segregation laws, limit their job opportunities, vilify them as a people so that you can enslave them legally through the prison system and prison labor, and tell them to pull up their bootstraps while handing those boots out to other people, don't be so fucking shocked when they burn that sick society to the ground. Just be surprised that it took this long." And for some reason, I knew I had to read that. I was the exact 100th like on that comment. I screenshotted it, and I just knew that that had to be said. So let's talk about something real quick. The riots, the protests, the violence, the acts of whatever everyone is doing today. I myself will be going to a protest in a couple days. I personally will not be taking part in the looting and the rioting. Right now, I know that what I can do is go to a protest and make my voice heard, but I will. And you guys can unsubscribe if you guys don't agree, but I will support the rioters and the people who are making noise, because guess what, guys? We have been putting up with this for way too damn long. Way too damn long in this country. And literally that comment said, I'm just surprised that it took this long, because like you would have thought that this would have happened time and time again. Guys, I've had so many protests at my school. I've had vlogs. I had several vlogs of me having protests at school. Last year, the protest happened on my birthday. I went to school and protested on my birthday, and I was 100% willing to do it. There was no inch of me that was not willing to go out there and say my word just because it was my birthday. And that's also just a ton of things that I'm seeing on social media right now. I don't care what you're eating, and I understand that this is a job. It's my job. It's tons of other people's jobs as well to do social media. If you're so scared that your brand and reputation is going to be ruined by posting things about racial injustice, something deeper is wrong, sis. Look, posting about racial injustice doesn't ruin your social media feed, okay? Like, sweetheart, like we don't enough said, enough said. But I can't tell you how shocked I was that even some light-skinned toned people like me as well don't want to claim their blackness and go ahead and say something about it. They'd rather just kind of let it sit to the side. And honestly, that's part of the problem too. That is part of the problem too. And that's a whole other thing, okay? What was I saying? Literally lost. Literally lost. You have to use your voice. George Floyd used his voice and no one listened to him. So guess what? If you're going to go ahead and riot and loot, do what you need to do. But listen. Oh my God, but listen. You better know what the fuck you're looting for, because I'm tired of seeing people just like completely forgetting what this is for and making it look 10 times as bad. Because look, and I know that a lot of that is also with people paying people to do this for media outlets so that we can look bad as a people. But at the same time, I want to make sure that y'all know what you guys are looting for, what you guys are rioting for, why you guys are setting cop cars aflame. Like, you do what you need to do, but you gotta remember what this is for. This isn't for some kiki, like, oh, I just want to like be bad, okay? This is for a reason. So I completely support rioting, because at this point we've protested for years. We've done walks, we've done marches, we've done all the little and big things that are needed for us to hear our voice. And guess what? Our voice isn't enough. So I support it. And again, Aaliyah Simone said this in her video, and I forgot to mention this, but she also did inspire me to make this video. But she said the same thing. I'm not for violence, but this is the one time where I am completely in support of it. But know what you're doing it for, please. I also want to go ahead and apologize. You guys don't know what for, but I want to say it because I do want to make it known, just so that if anyone else is feeling in this position, I want to go ahead and just push this. I apologize, because honestly, the vlog that I posted today's Sunday, aka the day before you watch this, I was simply just going to do like a quick 30-second splurge intro thing, saying it inside of a video, inside of the vlog today, just like including it in the beginning and like leaving the links, doing all that stuff, which is great, cool. But like, I felt like I was doing that because like I definitely needed to say something. Like, I knew that I had to say something and couldn't go forward without saying something. But I was doing that almost out of the fact that I felt like I had to do something. And like, yes, you do have to do something, but I didn't want to be like, I felt like it's almost like I didn't want to look bad. And that's so shitty to say, but like, I'm just gonna go ahead and call myself out, because I mean, yes, I'm posting about it on Instagram stories and I'm posting it about it on this and this and this and this, but why can't I just make a full-blown video on it? I was so quick to consider, oh my God, I need to go ahead and put this in a video, and I was just like trying to rush it so that like I needed to put it somewhere. And I was like, Jada, hold on, step back. you need to put this in a full video. You have a voice on this platform. You have reach. You have people clicking on stuff. Like, you need to say something about it. A lot of your friends are black. A lot of your brothers and sisters are black. Like, you need to support them, and you need to support yourself. I sometimes forget that I am a black woman because sometimes I do suppress those emotions, just because honestly you feel like you feel just slightly ahead of the game if you are not associated with being black. And I know too many black people that want to just kind of, like, people close to me that want to suppress that part of them because we already see what it's done to our friends, our family, our people, you know? So please protest if you have the chance to. Our white allies, guys, we fucking need you guys. I'm not even playing. Like, I am not playing. High school students, I graduated last year, but when I was a high school student, I did this protest every single year. So tell me why I had to go to school, first of all, go to school for my education, for my class learning, whatever. And I had to leave my school, leave and go outside to protest, and it was great. First of all, don't get me wrong, it was amazing, it was great. We said a lot of things, we got the news circling around. Like, we are a good school, and I have that pride in my school. But there's no reason for why high school students should have to feel the carry of the burden of what the oppressors should be fixing. If this, oh my god, like, just let that sit in. Kids have to leave their own classrooms to go and protest for a social injustice that should have been fixed years ago. That's one whole other thing. If you guys want me to leave those videos linked here somewhere, I will link those. Yeah, we protested, and that's how it goes. That's literally just normal at this point. Another reason as to why I just, like, wanted to get that quick, like, 30-second snippet in, like, a vlog, it almost just doesn't affect me anymore. Like, okay, another name is like another statistic. Another name is just another black body dead in the hands of a white cop. It's like, you hear it every day, you hear it all the time, but, like, at some point enough is enough. And it's just funny how our president, no, not our president, the president, he's not mine, can say how, he's so quick to say how when the looting starts, the shooting starts, to people who are protesting and rioting about an innocent murder, as opposed to people, oh my god, as opposed to people protesting about getting a haircut, or their next tan, or their next nail appointment, with rifles, by the way. But those people are angry people. Those people are good people. They're just angry because they want to be able to go out of their house. You know, there's like a respiratory lung disease going around and you want a haircut. Bet. So those are angry people. But we are quote unquote thugs for rioting and looting and making noise about something for an innocent person's death? Not an innocent person's death, an innocent black man's death. So, again, feel free to unsubscribe. I am tired of sheltering whatever I need to say in order to please my viewers. I mean, I think most of my viewers have the same opinions and thoughts as I, but you never know. You never know who's clicking on. But hello. Okay, with that all being said, I still have a lot to say, so don't click off yet, unless, I mean, you really got something to do, but I don't think anything is as important as this right now. I screenshotted a ton of things. I've been just getting a ton to I've just been getting a ton of things pop up on my feed, but I've screenshotted the ones that I feel are most important that I need to just go ahead and say right now. I'm simply reading this because like, I really don't think that I can get the words to formulate this as well as people have already done it. So I also asked you guys to send in things, questions, comments, quotes you may have to include in this video because I wanted to include you guys. So that's actually what I'm gonna do first. I will go to my DMs real quick. The first thing said was from someone, I think I'm just gonna leave these all anonymous. I just wanna make sure that I'm protecting you guys. People getting upset over the rioting and the destruction are completely missing the big picture and truly can't say that they support Black Lives Matter. If you are more upset about buildings being destroyed than innocent lives being taken away, please take a look at yourself and your priorities. Completely agree. Like, cool, you can recover. stores can recover. But the one thing, oh, I completely forgot to mention this. Oh my god. If you guys are rioting and looting, why are you rioting and looting on local stores that are also on the same side as you, fighting the same battle as you? Why are you looting mom and pop shops? I just don't understand. Even the things that I see on TV, I do not understand. You guys need to, again, remember what you're doing this for, because this is absurd. I've been seeing some crazy things over social media on the past couple of days. I don't even know which ones to believe. I don't know which ones are legitimate, but I just know that the ones that I've been seeing are crazy. Anyways, completely agree. Thank you for that comment. Okay, this is from another subscriber. She said, I'm sorry if this sounds uneducated in any way. Thank you for saying that, just to clarify. But I'm just upset that people are destroying buildings, homes, shops, etc. and robbing the stores because of his passing. It's very upsetting to see people taking advantage and saying that they are protesting by robbing, stealing, putting buildings on fire because of this. Not just one race is doing this. This isn't meant to be towards any race or color, just in particular. I support and encourage everyone to protest but not to steal, and it also upsets me that people are taking the cop's side. It's so disgusting to me that people are doing such a thing. Going back down to the destroying subject, someone/people in my town graffitied a local church. It's very upsetting, especially a worship place. Thank you so much for sending that in, and thank you so much for being respectful with your views. This is a younger viewer. I do want to go ahead and preface that there are some parts of this that I do agree on, and there are some parts that I disagree on, but that's the whole point of me doing this. This is also a white girl. I do want to go ahead and say that. She's a very sweet subscriber, always really nice, always really supportive. I don't think she just understands, so I just want to go ahead and clear this up for you and anyone else who may be asking why this is happening, why people are rioting, why people are looting. So you said because of his passing, and I just want to go ahead and clarify that it's not just because of his one passing, it's because of all of the passings that have been happening for years and years on end. The ones that aren't filmed, the ones that are filmed, there are too many. There are too many. Even kids your age. I'm talking to this girl, but even kids your age. There are black young kids your age also being shot for no reason. Tamir Rice had a toy gun and he was shot to death because it looked like a weapon. Okay? These people were people just like you, just like me. So it's not just because of his death. It's because of all of the pain. And it's not even just because of the fact that cops are killing black people. It's for many reasons beyond that. It's because of the system that wasn't created for us people. And I definitely agree about what you said about why they are rioting, why they are looting and rioting churches. I think that that's not right. I'm personally not a person of religion, so to speak. Yeah, I do not agree with that, because that is something that is not associated with this whatsoever. But the reason why people are rioting and looting is because we've done all that we can do voice-wise. We've been heard. We've been standing there for hours. We've done everything that we could. And now the only way for people to listen to us is with violence, unfortunately. If you guys have never heard of Malcolm X, now you have. Martin Luther King was the one all about peace and making sure that we're protesting in a peaceful way, peaceful demonstrations, and Malcolm X was the opposite. He's probably super happy in his grave right now seeing what's going on, because, I mean, this was his dream. This was his dream. I can see why you might not agree with looting, but I just wanted to give you that perspective if you were just unaware and just not understanding. So there you go. This comment said, I'm just so disappointed in the people that ignored this problem. The world has to change for the well-being of future generations, and I feel like things are starting to cycle and people are becoming numb to things they shouldn't become numb to. At the end of the day, it does take time for change, but how much longer? Because to me, at least, it's been long enough. Thanks for being a listening ear. Thank you so much, girly. Literally, I just talked about being numb and being so, what's the word? That is the word, numb. Like, being so numb to the fact that this stuff is happening because it happens too damn often, and that's the issue. Like, it's happening under our noses, in our faces, literally in our faces every single day, and we just kind of treat it as another statistic, and it's time to be over. And I do think that this quarantine has just made people 10 times as angry, because we've been having this built up anger for so long. People are having that mentality and that group think mentality, and now everyone's even just more mad, trying to create more change. But the one thing that I do want to say is that I listened to Sean King's podcast yesterday. Love him, he's amazing. Everything that he speaks about, he's just so intelligent. He knows how to word his words so perfectly, so full of information, yet so full of passion. If you guys do not know him, you should listen to his podcast. He made a couple of really good episodes, and he talked deeply about one topic that sticks here. He was talking about how we really need to specify as a people, as a black community as well, what kind of change that we want. And that's not our fault. Like, how are we supposed to think about what kind of change that we want when the system wasn't created by us? How are we supposed to voice what we want once we figure out that change and get really specific on what we want to see in the system? That's when we can really begin moving forward in a specific and strategic way. But right now it is really hard to see what we want because we've never been given the option to understand what we want. And that's even more sad, is that we don't even know our options. Like, there were never any options presented to us. They've never been available, and that's the issue. So I wanted to go ahead and say that as well. The next topic that I want to talk about really quickly, because I'm just taking topic by topic as how they pop into my head, is anti-racism. Right now, it is not enough to just be a good person. I've seen that so many times on here. It's not enough to just be a good person or to be just neutral, because look, if you're neutral, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. You have to be fighting for the people who don't have the voice to fight, especially if you're white and you have the privilege to do that. You have to be anti-racist. You have to be completely anti-racist, and you have to be actively anti-racist, because right now being just not a racist is not enough, unfortunately. Yeah, there are many ways that you can be anti-racist. I had a thought in my head. I'm kind of scared because now I'm getting like nervous, because like I'm saying all of these things and I know that there's people who just genuinely hate black people, and if they're watching this, my life could be in danger, and that's scary. That literally just popped up in my head. I wasn't even thinking about that. I literally was watching the news the other day, and the witness who was at the George Floyd murder was on CNN, and he didn't have a facial mask, he didn't have a sensor, he didn't have a voice sensor. He was there, out for the world, out for the news to see, and now that worries me, because he just put himself publicly on the news for all of these racist people to see him. They will come and get him if he's not having protection. Like, that is just scary to me. I'm going to go ahead and say what I need to say. If that ends up putting me in danger, then so be it, but I would have rather said something than to have not said anything at all and known that I could have done something. So yeah, I don't even know what I was talking about right before that, because my brain, I'll just read the next one because I'm just so freaking all over the place. All right, so there's this quote that someone wanted me to read, and it says, "We live in a world where trained cops can panic and act on impulse, but untrained civilians must remain calm with a gun in their face." Agreed. Agreed. Another comment from another sweet subscriber, he said, "People say that rioting only causes harm. We've tried peaceful protests, but the police didn't listen. If a riot has to catch their attention, then so be it." Agreed. I already spoke about that, but thank you for sending that in. I do want to make sure that I'm reading everyone's things. One of my good friends, she said, "White silence is white violence." I haven't even heard that, but that's amazing. I love that so much, and I love you. She also said, "White allies, hold your family and friends accountable for their racist comments." Agreed. You have to be actively trying to learn about this stuff and actively trying to get rid of this stuff, because otherwise you're just gonna sit there and just sit there and just sit there. Like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? Read. There's this thing called Google. If you really want to know on ways that you can help, I'm pretty damn sure that there's a ton of articles, a ton of books, tons of podcasts that you can listen to for you to become educated. So educate your people, hold them accountable. And oh my God, to all of my white friends, please, I don't think I've ever begged someone for anything, but like literally, please, use your voice, especially if you are a social media influencer. Oh my gosh, yes, thanks for sharing a post, thanks for doing that, but there is no reason as to why you should be saying Black Lives Matter and chanting about how much you love black people and black music and whatever and black culture. Oh my gosh, you guys are the main ones going to like Travis Scott concerts and like going to this and this and this and this, but like when it actually comes time for you to do something about the people that you listen to or the people that you look up to for their hairstyles and their curly and ethnic hair, now it becomes an issue, and now it's so much harder for you to say something. What the hell? I'm so confused. So like when it comes time for you to actually do something, you shy away, and then you want to post what you're eating for lunch, or like the next new video that you have that has like absolutely nothing to do with anything. There's a bird. Oh, thank you so much for this, by the way. I just went on a tangent, but yes, there's so many people who praise and like sexualize black men and women. Oh my gosh, it'd be so cute to have mixed babies. Oh my gosh, I would love a black man and like dating a black man because it's a trend. So now when it comes to support all black men, you're just like away, like hiding in your room. I don't get it. And yes, I'm saying a ton of things right now and a ton of things that will get demonetized. I'm trying to monetize this video so that I can give this money to a fundraiser, but yeah, if I get demonetized, that's why. Okay, next, great one. I'm so thankful that you said this because again, I think you kind of already got the point from this entire video, but someone said, educate the people, aka me, who still need to see your point of view as a woman of color, because I want to understand what is going on so bad, but as a Caucasian, it's difficult to see both sides of the story. Thank you for this. Thank you for first doing the first step of anything, is acknowledging the fact that you are uneducated about the subject and that you want to be. But I think I spoke a lot about it already. I think you kind of get the point. If you don't, there's a ton of resources like I said before. I don't think it is hard to be educated right now in a society that runs on technology. You're surrounded by it 24/7, and frankly, that's literally the reason why I had to go off of social media the other day, is because I legit cannot handle it. There was just so much being thrown in my face, and even today, I was filming a video before this, and I was just like, I'm not even focused on this right now. Like, I was just trying to get through it. It was such a long video because I had to do so many takes, and my brain wasn't there. I was showering today, and my brain wasn't there because I knew I had to film this, and I knew I wanted to get all my words out, but I just didn't know how. That's such a shitty thing. That is such a shitty thing. I don't think it's hard to support your friends. If you value me as a creator, as an influencer, as your friend, and me being a woman of color and being a black woman, I don't think it's hard to actively want to be educated about this, you know? So I think I've said a lot of stuff in this thing, so I don't feel like going on a spiel again. But again, if that's, hopefully that's enough. If I mean something to you in any kind of way, then I hope that that's enough. Not just me, all of your black friends, all of your black mentors, teachers, everyone. Someone said, I feel ashamed to be a white person. The way we are being represented is sad. Okay, this is also from a younger creator. She is also a white girl. I want to say this just so that you guys know where these comments are coming from. And yes, but to also play devil's advocate, I want to let you know that as a black woman, sometimes I feel ashamed of being my own color because of the way that we aren't represented. So, yeah. But if you feel so ashamed, especially you being very young, I know you personally because we DM all the time, I want you to go ahead and do some research. Again, Google is a very, very good place, and guess what? You have a ton of friends as well that you can educate. You guys can sit down. We have technology more than anything else that we have access to these days, and that is something that you can do. Educate your parents, because unfortunately they are the generation who are the least educated about this subject because they're very just complacent with how everything goes. There are a lot of black people that I know personally who are my parents' age that are very just ignorant to the fact as well, and kind of see this as, why is this happening? It's because, you know why? They've gotten so comfortable with the fact of being suppressed and being oppressed that they're just used to it. And guess what? That's literal psychology. Learned helplessness. Learned helplessness, that's what that's called, is a behavior exhibited by a subject after enduring repeated aversive stimuli beyond their control. I think that as a generation that they lived in, and their parents before, and their parents before, they have just learned helplessness. They think that there's no way out of this. Unfortunately for the racists, everyone's waking up right now. So everyone's coming out of their shadow, quite literally, since we've all been quarantined. So get ready. And guess what? I'm tired of seeing the word riots, guys. It's not a riot. This is a rebellion. It's a fucking revolution, okay? You guys have heard about the French Revolution, this revolution, that revolution. Guess what? History repeats itself. Now we're having a pandemic. When was that last repeated? Like, way long ago. If you guys don't think that a revolution can come out of this, okay, I was talking about learned helplessness, but basically it was dogs. They were electrified. I didn't know it was dogs. I forgot it was dogs. They were electrocuted, and basically they kept trying to escape, and eventually they just stopped trying to get out of the box. So that's learned helplessness. And I feel like as a race, black people have just learned to go through learned helplessness and just don't see the point in trying anymore. So educate your parents, Gen Z generation, millennial generation. Remind them that we've got their backs, that we can do this, we can do this. But we need energy from everybody. not just one person, not just a group of people, not just some people reposting a story. We need activeness, because right now it's not enough to, again, just say that you're a good person and that you've never been racist. At this point, what my friend said, white silence is white violence. If you're not doing anything about it, you're a part of the problem. You're literally a part of the problem. Fact, in the South, the literal origin of police was to preserve the slavery system, even long after it had been abolished. They enforced segregation and the disenfranchisement of freed slaves. Our police system was created for that enforcement. So how can we move forward as a society after years and years and years? They've literally built a society to enforce that segregation, and you think that over time it's just going to fade away. No, you built the system based upon that. I saw something today that said, like, I love how 9/11 is like never forget, but slavery is like get over it. Yeah, never forget 9/11. Of course, that was traumatic. Not saying anything about that. Just because none of us lived through it doesn't mean that we're not still experiencing the secondhand effects of what's going on in our society today. I don't know how long I've been filming. I've been filming for so long, but I feel like I've got more to freaking say. I just feel like I've got so much to say. Well, my friend is coming to take a walk with me in 15 minutes, so I honestly think that I can just run my mouth for 15 minutes. I remember something. Big corporations are starting to also realize this. Glossier today donated $1 million towards this. $1 million. $1 million. Not saying y'all have to donate $1 million, corporations, but like, use your voice. Please just use your voice. But Glossier, you have earned a forever customer. Like, I have all of your stuff on my face, like literally right now. But things like that. Even Bratz, guys, the Bratz company, like Bratz dolls, said something about it. And I still can't get some of these white influencers to say anything about it. Bratz dolls. When was the last time I even seen a Bratz doll? Like, anyway. If you guys can't donate, that is completely okay, but find it in your heart to donate something, even if you can, even if it's the slightest amount, even if it's $1, your dollar does something. If everyone donated $1 out of the $8 million that were posted on that change.org thing that I will link down below for George, they would have over $8 million if everyone just donated $1. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, there are so many people compensating and like donating hundreds of dollars like on that change.org, but even $1 does the deed, yeah? Oh, I saw this today, and I'm kind of in gray area with this because I understand that social media is a job for many people. But anyway, before posting a selfie or a picture of what you're eating for dinner or your friends by the pool, remember that in doing so, you are actively acknowledging that you have the freedom and time to care about other things outside of the urgent fight for racial justice. So please be careful about what you're choosing to say in this space right now, and ask yourself, could the real estate I'm about to occupy on the internet be better suited to something more helpful? Very powerful words. I'm not saying you have to, like, every single thing on your story has to be about Black Lives Matter. I'm not saying that. You can choose to do whatever you want, but if you have the voice, if you have the power, if you have the access to resources that many don't, why wouldn't you say something about it? I am so happy that people like Billie Eilish, her being as white as she is saying something about this. I've always loved her for that reason. It's not hard to speak out about something, and I've been really I still post things, I still post other things that I'm doing, but I'm also being very careful about the things that I'm saying, and I'm also being very careful about the vlogs that I'm putting up. I don't know, I was really serious today on my stories. Like, I did say something about, like, I'm posting a video, this video tomorrow, it's gonna be more heavy-hearted, but you don't see me like super like, oh my gosh guys, so guess this is what I'm doing, and like I'm posting this vlog tomorrow. It's just out of respect. It's just out of respect. I don't think there's anything really to be excited about, and maybe that's just my opinion, but like, I haven't been peppy on social media. Like, there's just no reason to be peppy. I can say that I have a video coming out because I do have a video coming out, and that's my work, that's my job, but there are some people, it's like Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. So guys, I'm hanging out with my friends at the pool, and today is just so fun. I'm like, and guess what? They're like 3 minutes apart, so you were, all right, so my camera died, but anyways, what I was saying was that I didn't even like have any time to process what you just posted, but then you're already going ahead to show your friends and stuff. Oh my gosh, like that was literally the police car running their car into a group of protesters. I'm not gonna say that all of them were doing that. I did see another thing today of a police shaking hands with so many black people. He took off his helmet and he said, you know what? Yes, I'm out here supposed to be like patrolling this whole thing or whatever, but I stand with you guys. He took off his hat and he was like, I'm here for you guys, and all of these cops are here too, and they were all like, just, it felt so good, and then like that's just one step forward. But then shit like this, like ramming your car into a, I need to get off of social media, I just freaking can't. This is my school. This is what we did during this protest, and we would do poetry, and we would just share art, and we would just share our stories, share our testimonials, and everyone would just be so supporting and just so giving. That is one thing that I loved my school for. Like, we really did that. We really just brought that spirit and energy that I would love to see plastered across the world. I feel really weird because I don't like ending things when I'm not sure if I said everything. That's one big fear as to why I don't film a lot of my videos that I had planned for a long time, because I'm just afraid that I didn't get to say everything. But right now is not one of those times to make sure that I think that I said everything. I just need to say what I have to say. If I miss something, I'll try and edit it in, but like, I just, lasting words. Guys, we need change. Not just post on your story, but like, we need change. Speak to people, make your voice heard. We can't have a government system that is willing to not even think about the idea of change and then let riots happen. Like, think about it. They're willing to see their government destroyed, their streets burned down, everything looted, than to even think about change. You're willing to see all of that first. Like, day one of these riots, like, there should have been something even talked about. Why is there nothing being done? There needs to be active change. And guys, and dear God, if you guys support the president that we have right now, you can unsubscribe from me. Go ahead and just live on your life. I think that I've tried to be very, not neutral, but like, I've tried to be very unbiased in that sense. For like, if you're just a viewer, just come and watch, whatever. I mean this in the best way possible. Please leave. If you didn't gain anything from this and you think that you even still relatively support him, I'm not saying not support conservatives, and I'm not saying not support Republicans. That's a general statement, and I won't make that general statement because I do have friends that are Republican and I do have friends that are more conservative, but they don't support him. I can't even say his name. Literally allergic to him. I think those are my lasting words. Guys, I love you guys so much. Please take care. If you guys are protesting, please, there are so many things that you can do to prepare. I will leave a lot of resources down below. I will leave the petitions and all of the donations on this video. It will go to some foundation or charity. Please continue to educate. Please continue to learn. Please continue to be better. Just be better humans. Never would I have ever thought that as an 18-year-old girl, as an 18-year-old black woman, that I would be ever having to do this, having to fight for my rights. Didn't people do that for us already? Like, not trying to be all Gen Z, but like, didn't they do that already? You learned about this stuff in elementary school and middle school, being like, whoa, like they fought for us to be equal, and like we're here now, and like now we're backtracking like 50 years ago, and I cannot even fathom the fact that we're here right now. It hurts, guys. And if you guys care about me, please take the time to do something about it. This video is probably too fucking long, but it is so necessary, and I needed to say it. And again, I'm going to apologize again because I knew that I was literally about to just walk away with 30 seconds of a video. 30 seconds of a video, as opposed to however the hell long this video is, of value. And if you didn't stay till the end, oh well. If you did, thank you so much. Like, thank you. Please share this video. Please share this video, even though it was the most unorganized and kind of all over the place video I have ever freaking done. It's something. It's my word. It's my truth. And hopefully next video, hopefully future videos, hopefully videos years down the road, we won't be here again. But yeah, that's all I've got to say. It's really too fucking hot in this car, and I've cussed up a storm. I'm not gonna bleep it out because this video is very important, and that's how I speak on a normal basis. So take care, guys. I love you guys a lot. I will see you guys in the next video.